The call of Jamrock, Jamaica, it's this incredibly powerful thing, isn't it? It's more than just a place.
Oh, absolutely. It's emotional. It's about family. Sometimes it's decades in the making.
But let's be brutally honest here. Moving your entire life back home after years away, that is not a vacation. It's a huge, complex project.
It's a massive project. And that's exactly the angle our main source takes for this deep dive. We're looking at the 2025 Jamaica Returning Residents Guide by Dean Jones.
Right, and he's a chartered builder, a project manager. He's not just a realtor.
Exactly. He's looking at this with a project manager's eye.
So our mission today is to take his blueprint, this very structured approach designed to remove the guesswork and fear, as he puts it, and really boil it down.
We're giving you the actionable steps, the critical path to making this move a success.
A real blueprint for your homecoming.
Let's start with the absolute foundation of his whole approach. He calls it the project management mindset. Basically, you have to treat this return like you're scoping a major development project. It's all about discipline, systems, and structure.
So applying the skills you probably learned overseas to the potential chaos of moving back home.
Precisely. And that structure starts with step one. Clarify your why.
And this is more than just a feeling, right? This is about defining your objective. Is this an emotional move, family, legacy, culture?
Or is it purely pragmatic? Is it about making your pension stretch further, or the cost of living, or tax benefits?
Because that why is what holds you steady when things get difficult.
It's your anchor. Without it, the first big customs delay or, a crazy utility bill can make you just want to pack it all in.
Okay, so you've got your why locked down. What's next?
Step two, research and scan the landscape.
And this isn't just looking at pretty pictures of beach towns on the internet.
Not at all. The guide is very specific. It says you need to shortlist 2, maybe 3 parishes or towns, and you choose them based on hard data. Cost of living, for sure. Proximity to good hospitals. What are the roads and traffic actually like? And, what's the real community vibe, the safety aspect?
And the guide has a crucial piece of advice here, doesn't it? About visiting first.
It's non-negotiable. It strongly advises staying for 1 to 2 weeks in each of those shortlisted areas before you even think about committing.
You need that boots-on-the-ground reality, not just nostalgia.
Exactly.
Hold on, though. Staying in, say, 3 different towns for a few weeks, that's a lot of money. That's an expensive trip.
It is, but the guide frames it as risk mitigation. If you think about it, the few $1,000s you spend on that reconnaissance trip is nothing compared to the massive mistake of buying a house in an area that floods every year.
Or that's 2 hours from a decent doctor.
Right. It's an investment in getting the project right from the start.
Okay, that makes sense. So that brings us to the fuel for this whole project. Step 3, financial preparation, sorting out your money.
This is paramount. The guide says you need a detailed monthly budget, and this is key. You have to include a mandatory 10 to 15% contingency buffer.
For all the things you just can't predict.
For the surprise fees, the delays, the setup costs that always pop up, that buffer is what absorbs the shock.
And what about bank accounts?
You need to open both a Jamaican dollar, a JMD, and a US dollar account as early as possible. And make sure online banking is up and running from day one.
And the most important part, the overall buffer.
Yes. The recommendation is a big one. You need to have 3 to 6 months of your estimated living costs sitting in an account. That's your financial runway. You can't land without it.
Okay, so the foundation is set. Now for the biggest physical piece of the puzzle, housing. Step 4. This is a critical decision.
It's huge. And the guide's decision matrix lays out the options really clearly. The number one recommendation, especially for newcomers, is to rent first.
For how long?
Maybe 6 to 12 months. It gives you time to actually live in a community, test the utilities, figure out the traffic patterns before you make a permanent, very expensive decision.
Right, it stops you from buying that beautiful house that turns out to be in the middle of a logistical nightmare.
Exactly. The other options are, of course, buying something that's move-in ready, which is great if you want predictable costs and no renovation headaches.
Or the big one, build.
Building from scratch. That's the long-term plan, but it requires serious oversight.
I can only imagine. Trying to manage a construction project from overseas sounds like a recipe for disaster. What does the guide say about that?
It calls it the highest risk option, and it's very blunt. You cannot rely on a family member to keep an eye on things.
No favors.
No. It says you must hire a licensed project manager or a chartered builder on the ground. Someone who sends you weekly reports, photo evidence, and manages payments in stages.
Yeah.
Never, ever a lump sum up front.
That's a serious warning. So whether you rent, buy, or build, there's a due diligence checklist that you have to follow.
It's non-negotiable. You have to get a professional title search and a surveyor's report.
And that's not just paperwork, is it? In Jamaica, land ownership can be complicated.
Very. With family land and old records, you need that title search to confirm that the boundaries are correct and the person selling it actually has the right to sell it. It's your shield against major legal problems down the line.
What else is on that checklist?
Confirming utilities. Is JPS electricity available? NWC for water? And crucially, is there fiber internet? You need to know that before you sign anything. And always, always get a flood and drainage check.
Okay, let's move on to the other big headache. Customs and shipping. How do you actually qualify for that returning resident status?
It's pretty straightforward. You need to be a Jamaican national, over 18, and have lived overseas for at least 3 consecutive years. And you have to be returning for good.
And getting that status can save you a ton of money.
A ton. The duty concessions are, as the guide puts it, Jamaica's way of saying, welcome home. Your personal household effects, furniture, appliances, your tools of the trade, they're all duty-free.
But there's a catch, right?
The catch is they have to be used. You can't just set up an appliance store from your container. If you show up with, 20 brand new microwaves still in the box, customs is going to have some questions.
I would imagine so. And what about a car? That's the big ticket item.
Each family can bring in 1 motor car, up to 6 years old, duty-free. But here's the rule everyone needs to know. That car must have been registered in your name overseas for at least 6 months before you ship it.
Ah, that's the key. So you can't just go buy a new truck the month before you move and expect to get it in duty-free.
No way. It forces you to plan ahead. It's about bringing your life back, not just importing a new car.
So what are the shipping options?
You've got a few. Barrel shipping is the cheapest, good for clothes, small things, but expect them to get inspected pretty thoroughly.
Okay.
Then there's LCL, or less than container load. That's where you share a container. Good if you have a few pieces of furniture. And then there's the full container, a 20 or 40-footer.
And that's what you need if you're moving a whole house, and especially if you're bringing a car.
Exactly. But you have to budget for the hidden costs. This is where people get caught out.
Okay, let's break those down. What are they?
You've got wharfage, which is basically the port storage and handling fees. Then there are CAF fees, a currency adjustment from the shipping line. And you have to hire a licensed customs broker.
How much does a broker cost?
You should probably budget somewhere between 40 and 80,000 Jamaican dollars. But honestly, their expertise is worth every penny.
That's great clarity. Okay, zooming out a bit to the reality of daily life. Money, banking. What's the one document you absolutely must have?
The TRN. Your tax registration number. Without a TRN, everything stops. You can't open a bank account, you can't buy property, you can't get utilities. It's the key to your new life.
And you need that, plus proof of address, to open accounts at places like NCB or Scotiabank.
Correct. And on the currency itself, you have to be realistic. The Jamaican dollar fluctuates. Right now, it's around 155, 160 to $1 US.
And with inflation in Jamaica running at, 5 to 7% a year, holding your life savings in JMD is risky.
Very risky. It's why the guide makes a really strong recommendation. Keep the bulk of your savings in a stable currency like US dollars or pounds.
So your overseas account becomes a financial shield.
Yes. And you only transfer what you need for your monthly budget into JMD. For those transfers, by the way, it suggests using services like Wise or Remitly. They usually give you much better rates than a direct bank wire.
Smart. Now, a tough topic, but a necessary one. Security. The guide is very clear that returning residents are prime targets for scammers.
They are. You're seen as being cash rich and maybe a bit naive about how things have changed. And scammers prey on your emotions.
How so?
They'll often use family. You'll get an urgent call, a fake emergency, someone needs money for a hospital bill or to clear a package at customs. They exploit that desire to help.
That's a really specific warning. So what are the golden rules for protecting yourself?
Never, ever pay for anything significant up front without a written contract. Never click on suspicious links in emails. And for property deals.
This is where the big money is.
Yes. Never pay a deposit into a personal bank account. It has to go into a lawyer's official escrow account. Always use the National Land Agency, the NLA, to verify property titles yourself. And only deal with real estate agents who are registered with the official board.
Digital safety too, I assume.
Absolutely. 2-factor authentication on everything. Your email, your banking, everything.
Okay, let's talk about the lifelines. Utilities, JPS for power, NWC for water. What's the reality that shocks people?
The cost of electricity, it is high. For a normal three-bedroom house, you could be looking at 25 to 45,000 JMD a month,
Yeah.
maybe more if you love your AC.
Wow.
And because of the high cost and the fact you can have outages or low water pressure, planning for backups is not a luxury. It's a necessity.
So we're talking about getting a generator or a solar system.
And a water tank, a 400 to 1,000-gallon tank with a pump. You have to build your own redundancy into your life.
You have to be self-reliant. And for internet.
Check for FLOW or Digicel fiber coverage when you're doing your initial scouting. If you're going somewhere rural, the guide notes that Starlink satellite internet is a really solid, reliable option now.
And the final, most basic safety step.
Know the emergency numbers. Save them in your phone. Police is 119. Fire and ambulance is 110. It's the first thing you should do.
This has been incredibly tactical. I mean, what really stands out is that the difference between someone who thrives and someone who struggles with this move is preparation. It's treating it like a project.
A sequenced project. You
Yeah.
clarify, you plan, you ship, you set up, and you stay safe.
Exactly.
But, at the end of the day, the guide reminds us that this isn't just a logistical project. It's deeply emotional. It's generational.
It's a homecoming.
It is. And the goal is to move from just being back home to truly feeling like you belong there.
And to leave you with something to think about, a thought from the guide itself. It says, those duty concessions are Jamaica's way of saying, welcome home, we value you. So as you plan, think about the greatest asset you're actually bringing back. Is it the stuff in the container? Or is it the skills, the experience, the energy that those concessions are really meant to encourage? That's the real value you're bringing home.